Shake your body, don't stop, don't miss. All you ladies pop your pussy like this. Shake your body, don't stop, don't miss. Just do it, do it, do it, do it, do it now. Lick it good, suck this pussy just like you should. Right now, lick it good, suck this pussy just like you should. My neck, my back, lick my pussy and my crack. My neck, my back, lick my pussy and my crack.
The song says it all, but I thought as a change of pace, I'd go over something very controversial that I don't hear anybody talking about. The powers that be, those in control, I guess, want to keep this a secret. But they can't keep it a secret. Apparently, a woman's body may incorporate DNA from the semen of casual sex partners. Oh, shit. Now you're beginning to understand why the ancients back in Sumeria institutionalized the marriage between men and women. Why the woman had to be a virgin. It all makes sense now. You might be hearing this for the first time, so get ready, because this might be a shock to you. A lot of you won't give a fuck. You don't give a shit as long as you get laid. So, but for those of you who really care whether or not that child is yours, you always asking yourself, why he look different? Why he act different than me? You can forget all that bullshit about, when you go to Murray, when people used to go on Murray Povich or some other talk show, and they come back with the DNA results. The DNA results didn't tell you everything. Or some fools out there, did it have the father's eyes? You can tell from the father's eyes. No, you can't, you stupid motherfuckers. Anyway, let us start. Sex can not only be deadly. DNA from the semen of your past sexual partners can come back to DNA Chimera haunt you. To DNA Chimera haunt you. Your children and even generations to come. You may want to think twice before that next one-night stand or dude with less than stellar DNA you might secretly shack up with to end your long dry spell. There is a little known ancient scientific fact I would like to share with you about human sexual relations. That is, if you would like to remain in control of your mind, body, and the integrity of your divine tree of life. It deals with your DNA. Now you understand what the tree of life in the Bible is really talking about it. What it's really talking about. It deals with your DNA and imposter male gooey semen in the form of DNA of people that can infiltrate your blood through the sacred act of sex, when that is often absolutely the last thing you would ever want to happen. This science gives a new meaning to one-night stands, being that there really is no such thing as a one-night stand when sexual partners swap semen and DNA with one another. They are not just forming a one-day sexual union of animalistic-fueled passion, but a lifelong connection in which they may in fact be forever connected through the tree of life that we know of as DNA. The theory that all the mother's sexual partners influence their children's physical characteristics dates back to ancient Greece and Rome, where it was simply an accepted fact They did not have the science to back it up, but they definitely knew enough about sexual relations and blood to even have laws at times against adultery and sodomy. Many of these laws were punishable by banishment, torture, and murder by horrible death. Under the laws of the Constance and Constantius, adulterers were burned or sewn in sacks and cast into the sea. Under Leo and Marcian, the penalty was reduced to perpetual banishment and cutting off the nose. Under Justinian, it was again permitted to kill the parties. I assume these laws were not just done to control their citizens and keep peace, but to control the integrity of their race. Now we have the genetic science to prove these theories. As I mentioned, what I speak of here is a science, and it is now being proven as fact. Scientists have discovered that many women are carrying multiple male Y chromosome gene sequences in their DNA. Just in case you didn't know, women are supposed to only carry female mitochondrial or mtDNA. That's the letters MT. Your sexual partner's DNA can and may in fact not only become incorporated into a female's DNA, it can also affect a future unborn child. This is called microchimerism, abbreviated MC, which is the presence of a small number of cells that originate from another individual and are therefore genetically distinct from the cells of the host individual. The word microchimerism is derived from the Greek Chimera, who was a mythological creature composed of parts of various animals, like that of the head of a lion, the belly of a goat, and the tail of a dragon or serpent. The DNA research. Here is some research on this subject. Male microchimerism in women without sons. Quantitative assessment and correlation with pregnancy history. Purpose: fetal microchimerism derived from fetal cells that persist after pregnancy is usually evaluated by tests for male microchimerism in women who gave birth to sons. We investigated male microchimerism in women without sons and examined correlation with prior pregnancy history. Immunologic consequences of microchimerism are unknown. We studied healthy women and women with rheumatoid arthritis, RA. Conclusions: male microchimerism was not infrequent in women without sons. Besides known pregnancies, other possible sources of male microchimerism include unrecognized spontaneous abortion, vanished male twin, an older brother transferred by the maternal circulation or sexual intercourse. Male microchimerism was significantly more frequent and levels were higher in women with induced abortion than in women with other pregnancy histories. Further studies are needed to determine specific origins of male microchimerism in women. Another recent study shows evidence to support the theory that the semen from a woman's previous sexual partners, now listen up, and this is why you males out there, when that surprise pregnancy happened, you better find out. You better be sure. You better find out the history of the chicks you're sleeping with. Listen up. Another recent study shows evidence to support the theory that the semen from a woman's previous sexual partners may affect the genetics of a future unborn child. Do you understand what that means? It means that some of the chicks that you've been with, if you procreated with them already, you planted the seed in the egg. What it means is it doesn't fucking matter. If she had sex 3 or 4 years ago with some other dude, that other dude's DNA is gonna be in your children and your children's children. Scientists have discovered a new form of non-genetic inheritance, showing for the first time that offspring can resemble a mother's previous sexual partner. And then you wondering why they don't look like me, why they act differently. I would never do that. You idiots, you morons. And you think it was the last guy she fucked. It could be a fucking dude she fucked 5 years ago. In flies, at least. Conclusion. Sexual energy. The conclusions of these ancient beliefs and studies shows possible sources of male mitral chimerism that are known from pregnancies, miscarriages, vanished male twin, or sexual intercourse. This science proves that through intercourse alone, women can obtain the male genes and DNA within their organs and blood for their entire life. The act of sex is a divine gift between a man and a woman for the purpose of human reproduction. It is a sacred covenant and holy sacrament between a husband and wife. Now you're beginning to understand the plot of the movie Alien Covenant. Why all those people died. Why the alien killed everybody in that film. Remember, they were on the ship to get to a different planet so they could reproduce and procreate. Some of the fucking couples were gay. Other couples were interracial. Are you beginning to understand why it's called Alien Covenant? It is a sacred covenant and holy sacrament between a husband and wife. This sacred spiritual act of the union of souls should always be regarded as such. Here's another article talking about the same thing. Compelling new scientific research has shown that female insects and mammals are able to absorb foreign DNA throughout the cells of their bodies. In human beings, this phenomenon has been conclusively shown to occur in women during pregnancy, where genetic material from her growing fetus becomes fused within areas of her brain, affecting her chances of developing Alzheimer's disease. The evidence now shows that female animals can incorporate sperm DNA from her prior sex partners. This foreign DNA winds up in future children after the woman successfully reproduces with a completely different male. In the human world, this means that the children a man has with a promiscuous woman could possess genes from previous sexual partners he has never seen or met. And let me tell you, I know the reason why the powers that be don't want you to know this shit. I'll tell you why. Number one, they see you as cattle anyway, so they don't give a fuck if y'all all mixed. They don't give a shit. That's their ultimate plan. When they've killed enough of us, the second phase will be to have the rest of us all mix till there is no distinct racial characteristic differences. That's part of their plan. But I know part two. I know the second reason why they don't want you to know this shit. Imagine the divorce rates. Imagine the families breaking up. Imagine the confusions between brothers and sisters. It would be insanity. They're trying to keep control of this information. You better wake the fuck up. There are existing sociological studies that show a marriage is far more likely to fail when a woman had more than 2 prior sexual partners. But now, renewed support for the once questionable field of telegony is showing that there are also genetic reasons not to start a family with a promiscuous woman. Children you have with her may have their gene pool polluted by her random affairs and one-night stands. Telegony is an idea first proposed by Aristotle that claims offspring can inherit genes from the mother's previous sexual partners. So you see, this has been around for a long time. As I told you, the Sumerians, the Romans, the Greeks, Aristotle's ass knew this shit. But now the actual scientific information is coming out. The science proof. Y'all love science, right? Y'all believe in evolution, that we came from monkeys and apes, right? If you believe in that shit, you can't deny this shit. Oh boy. This idea was not scientifically supported until evidence piled up of Chimerism, the phenomenon of foreign DNA becoming incorporated into the genome of an individual. This was first noted to happen in the case of blood transfusions. If you have received blood while in a state of trauma, your donor's DNA can become incorporated into your genome. Surprisingly, little research has been done on microchimerism since then, but all signs point to this being a widespread and common genetic phenomenon throughout the animal kingdom. Another reason why the powers that be don't want you to know about this shit. A lot of the families, the elite families of the so-called Illuminati master race chosen people, fuck around with each other. That's right, in case you didn't know, they breed with each other. They've always done this. That's how they say they keep their bloodline pure. Okay. Let me repeat this. Surprising little research has been done on microchimerism since then, but all signs point to this being a widespread and common genetic phenomenon throughout the animal kingdom, and that's what they consider you and me, animals. A groundbreaking study on flies last year showed the process of females incorporating DNA from previous male partners and then exhibiting that male DNA into future spawn they had with completely different males. Scientists at the University of New South Wales discovered that, for fruit flies at least, the size of the young was determined by the size of the first male the mother mated with. Do you understand this? Can you comprehend this? Your child that you have with some chick can have the DNA of the first guy she ever screwed. Holy shit! Rather than the second male that sired the offspring. Our new findings, and this is a quote, our new findings take this to a whole new level, showing a male can also transmit some of his acquired features to offspring sired by other males. She says, but we don't know yet whether this applies to other species. Well, apparently so, lady. Dr. Stuart Wigby of the Department of Zoology at Oxford University added, the principle of telogamy is theoretically possible for pretty much any internally fertilizing animal. But these hasn't historically been much evidence for it. Scientists involved in the study are making the guess that sperm DNA gets absorbed into female eggs without fertilizing them. The researchers suggested that the effect is due to molecules in the seminal fluid of the first mate being absorbed by the female's immature eggs, and then influencing the growth of offspring at a subsequent mate. It was already observed that the human female body acts as a sponge for foreign DNA placed within it. It is possible that ME, microchimerism, in the brain is able to differentiate into various mature phenotypes or undergoes fusion with pre-existing cells and acquires a new phenotype, as suggested by Murin and human studies, in which bone marrow derived cells circulated to the brain and generated neuronal cells by differentiation or fused with pre-existing neurons. Although the relationship between brain MC, that wasn't ME, that was MC the last time. Although the relationship between brain MC, microchimerism, and health versus disease requires further study, our findings suggest that MC, microchimerism, of fetal origin could impact maternal health and potentially be of evolutionary significance. You have no choice to believe in this. Woo! Let me take a little breakage here. Here's some music for y'all. To get you in the mood to go have those one night stands. Keep fucking each other, y'all.
Shake your body, don't stop, don't miss. All you ladies pop your pussy like this. Shake your body, don't stop, don't miss. Just do it, do it, do it, do it, do it now. Lick it good, suck this pussy just like you should. Right now, lick it good, suck this pussy just like you should. My neck, my back, lick my pussy and my crack. My neck, my back, lick my
I know most of you savage motherfuckers out there don't even care about this shit. You wouldn't even care, right? If your daddy fucked your bitch without your knowledge, and some of your daddy's DNA is in the bitch when she got pregnant with you. But you don't care. Idiots. Then you wonder why there's so much disease. Then you wonder why there's so many mutations. Children being born all fucked up. Stupid idiots. The above study has two seismic implications. The first is that a woman can absorb enough DNA during her lifetime that it changes her phenotype, e.i., her appearance and overall health state. There could be some truth to the phrase Slutface, in which highly promiscuous women suffer a change to their appearance because of all the variable sperm from different males that have been deposited inside of them. You always wonder why that porn star changed, her looks change over the years, right? The second implication stems from the fact that it is scientifically conclusive that single mothers have DNA of their bastard children residing permanently within their bodies. Any man who reproduces with a single mom will have a child that contains DNA from the bastard spawn. Which of course includes DNA from the absentee father. This means that the men can be genetically cuckolded without being traditionally cuckolded, and that having a baby with a single mom is essentially giving the father of her first child a bonus prize in the game of evolution. Oh, shit. Chimerism, or microchimerism, has also been noted in dogs, where older siblings pass on their DNA to younger siblings, suggesting that firstborns possess the highest genetic purity. A suspicion, perhaps, I can't read that word. A suspicion, perhaps, aspected by the royalty of old. Not only that, but the mother dog's incorporated Y chromosome material from her male children. The mother dog essentially becomes more masculine by having sons. Oh, shit! So the mystery has been solved. Haven't you seen these bitches lately acting more and more like men? I've seen enough YouTube videos, and all these women, white, black, Hispanic, Asian, they all seem to act and behave more like men. Holy shit. There you go. Solved another mystery for y'all. The researchers found cells with Y chromosomes in the mother after these births, meaning the mother had male cells present in her female body. The researchers also found genetically similar male cells in the mother's female puppies from a later litter. Those puppies were newborn and had never been pregnant. Strongly suggesting that they acquired the cells that were left behind by their older brothers while in the womb. If a woman absorbs Y chromosome genes from male sperm via casual sex, this would easily explain why women with high notch counts exhibit more masculine traits. Something that any international playboy can anecdotally confirm. The promiscuous girl becomes more masculine because various masculine genes are being inserted into her genome and affecting her phenotype. Oh, shit. Some of the older ideas on telogyny, dating over a century, now don't seem so left field. French biologist and philosopher Félix Ledentic, in his work Individual Evolution, Heredity and Neo-Darwinism, 1899, mentions several facts that demonstrate telegony. But the evidence was quite pseudo-scientific, even for that epoch. The author gave 2 examples with animals and 1 for humans. Le Dantec wrote that some farmer told him that once his swine copulated with a boar, and their pigs absolutely resembled the father in color. But when the same swine copulated with another boar, some pigs of the second pharaoh still resembled the color of the male pig the swine had copulated first. He also wrote about Lord Morton, who first interbred a mare and a zebra and got a hybrid of horse and zebra. Next time, he interbred the same mare with a horse. As a result of the second copulation, the Lord still got a colt that had lines resembling those of a zebra. Microchimerism is on the leading edge of genetic research that has lately included epigenetics, which is the switching on and off of certain genes due to environmental cues. Epigenetics has raised questions against evolutionary theory because it shows genetic adaptation can occur within individual organisms without the need for natural selection. Now research is revealing how little we actually know about how the human genome works, suggesting a more complex picture than we've imagined. Sociological research was the first to show that marrying women with a robust sexual history increased the likelihood of a failed marriage. Now genetic research adds more evidence to show that such women will birth children that, to a degree we don't yet understand, are not entirely of the fathers. Because this new field of research is politically incorrect, you bet it is, in painting strongly negative consequences for women leading a strong and independent promiscuous lifestyle, we are unlikely to see liberal universities, in other words, socialist universities, approve much in the way of further research in this area. But if I was in charge, I'd do the research. I'd allow all you motherfuckers to continue the research. I'd give you the grants. Make me goddamn fucking, what is that called? Commander-in-Chief. And I'll let you do anything. Where there's Bonta Grey Poupon, because we gotta fucking know more about this shit. We gotta know more about this shit, baby. For thousands of years, a woman's purity was cherished above all else when it came to creating a family. Now the scientific community is confirming the validity of that practice. Until the science is settled, men who insist on reproducing with a promiscuous woman should at least demand to interview her previous sexual partners so he can become familiar with the men whose genes may be passed on to his future children. Holy shit. Woo! Holy shit. There's a little bit more. Let's see. Be wary who you sleep with. Women carry the DNA of their sexual partners. These days, you have to be wary of who you sleep with, as a study has shown that women could potentially carry the DNA of previous partners. A group of scientists has found out that a minority of women have Y chromosome gene sequences in their blood that men usually have. This is significant find, as it allows us to speculate as to how they managed to get them. Be careful who you sleep with. An obvious assumption to make is that from a pregnancy with a male son, every woman would still carry those cells within her bloodstream. Furthermore, the conclusion from this is that these Y chromosome cells would reside within the mother's bloodstream for the rest of her natural life, regardless of miscarriage or termination. Chimerism is the medical term for this condition, which got the name after the mythical monstrous Greek Chimera that appeared to be 3 animals rolled into one: a lion snake and a goat. Snake. Sex transfers DNA of partners. A study then needed to be commissioned to understand if women without sons could still be expected to carry Y chromosomes in their blood. The study in question was conducted by immunologists at the Fred Hutchinson Cancer Center, who took samples from 120 women who had never given birth to sons and found out that these women had 21% male DNA. Sexual baggage. The conclusion that was drawn from this study is that from intercourse alone, there is a potential for women to hold on to male DNA from their sexual partners for their entire life, regardless of having more or fewer children. Holy shit. 3 articles on this subject. And if you don't believe me, get off your ass, go to your computer, do the research yourself, Google all this shit. I'm sure there are sites and motherfucking sellouts who are saying, no, this ain't real. I just told you the reasons why they keep this hidden. It would break down the fabric of society. And they don't want you to know because they already want you to breed like animals. Holy shit. Holy shit. See, you only get the truth on this motherfucking channel. You only get the truth. Nothing but the damn truth in this bitch. Speaking of bitches.
All you ladies pop your pussy like this. Shake your body, don't stop, don't miss. Just do it, do it, do it, do it, do it now. Lick it good, suck this pussy like you should. Right now, lick it good, suck this pussy just like you should.
Maybe you guys are animals and cattle, like the Illuminati says you are.
My neck, my back, lick my pussy and my crack. My neck, my back, lick my